All right, boys. So let's have our morning coffee and talk about some Xavier Legette, the Carolina Panthers' first round draft pick, wide receiver out of South Carolina. Big dude, you're talking 6'1, 220, ran a 4.39 at the combine, I believe. So you're talking big, fast, physical wide receiver who can get downfield and make some plays. Uh, let's dive into the next gen stats a little bit on this one. We have the measurables, the height, speed, 40 time, all that, but we want to look at some more in depth stats here. This one coming from Taylor Kyles on Twitter. He's actually highlighting Patriots wide receivers, Jalen Polk and Javon Baker, but the list does mention Xavier Legette, and he's at the top of the list. Okay, this is most yards per run. Most yards per route run versus press man coverage in the 2023 season among the rookie class. So this is interesting because this is actually something that Legette's skeptics will say he doesn't do well. Is get off of press man coverage at the line of scrimmage. But the stats say otherwise. Now, to be fair, this could be a little bit skewed just because when he's in this situation, it's a great opportunity to take a deep shot at a one-on-one. And that's something that he's going to win a lot of the time because of his big frame. But if you look at the numbers, yards per route run versus press man coverage, 6.48. 6.48 yards. And the next man, you're looking at 4.46. Anthony Gold, who I believe got drafted by the Colts. So if you're looking for a guy who can stretch the field against man coverage, evidently this is your guy. Now, I guess to be fair, this doesn't necessarily say he wins every time he's in press man coverage or he faces press man coverage, but it does say that if you give him that opportunity with that one-on-one against the defender, there's a good chance he's going to come up with the win for you, especially if you take a shot downfield. And we saw that a lot, in his tape with the one-on-ones downfield. All right, so let's look at this one. With the final pick of the first round, the Panthers select Xavier Legette, the sixth wide receiver to weigh over 220 pounds and clock a sub 4.40 at the combine since 2003. Now that's big. That's big. You're talking a big wide receiver who can move really fast. And I think on the next tweet on this thread, it says, yeah, reached a top speed of 23.66 miles per hour in the 40-yard dash. So obviously that's a 40-yard dash. I don't know what the game speed is. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. I'm sure you could find it, his top game speed. But 23.66 is moving. You look at the top of that list, Xavier Worthy, 24.41 miles per hour. That was the fastest 40 time that's ever been ran. And Xavier Legette was, a notch behind that at 6'1. What did we say? 6'1, 230. 6'1, 220. So that's a big man moving really fast. That's a weapon for Bryce Young. I understand some of the knocks on his game. The route tree is not complete, especially in some of that intermediate stuff, maybe. But I think this is a guy you scheme him open, you get him the ball in space, and you let him do his thing, and he's gonna make some guys miss, and he's gonna use that top end speed. So I'm excited to see what happens with him. Could be quite a weapon for the Panthers offense this season in 2024. When you look at how Dave Canales has utilized guys in the past, such as Mike Evans or DK Metcalf, Legette, does compare to those guys. Probably more of a DK Metcalf than a Mike Evans, but they have the height and the arm length, and the ability to go up 1-on-1. So that's some of the similarities. If you're talking about players who he probably reminds you of the most, you're probably looking at the Eagles, AJ Brown, who similarly didn't have the most production in college. And again, that's another big knock on Legette is he didn't quite have the production in college that you wanted to see. He kind of just broke out in his final season. But if you go back and look at things, he it's a little more nuanced than just he didn't produce. He had some serious personal issues that he was dealing with. I believe he lost one or both parents while he was in college, or he lost one as a child and then one in college. And I think he had like a motorcycle accident. So it's not as black and white as he wasn't producing. There was a lot of stuff going on during his college career. And honestly, if you want to look at it from another perspective, it's a guy who's come back from tons of adversity and found a way to produce, even though, the odds were stacked against him. So we will see what happens with him in the Carolina Panthers. I would not be surprised if it's a bit of a slow start for him, just making the jump to the NFL. But I think once he gets going and finds his feet, he's going to be a heck of a player. I appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe. It's very helpful for the channel. Keep pounding, guys. We'll catch you next time.